Hey guys, I decided I'm gotta make another video. I'm kind of falling into a type of a madness. So what it is I say on here, as far as um, oh, like Jericho movies, concern about the children and the individuals that interact and intersect videos. What it could mean, and kind of having a decadence towards that, and thinking about Gary Amendham, thinking about Professor Anton, thinking about Conference Report, thinking about this old pianist that responded to one of Anton's videos, and thinking about Asrianok, thinking about Piano as the Remedy, thinking about the fixed viewing list that I have, the impact that all these individuals have on me on this fixed reading list. Thinking about a lot about what Fred was talking about in terms of his son going to art school, kind of the faith of that, the aspiration. Thinking about the notion of the fixed point, kind of this nightmarish, kind of like the Cube movie. And thinking about what it means to engage in a symbolic painting, how I have to empathize with the internal aspects of that painting. By the way, as Sweet on the throwdown, the last vid, and we'll get that mailed out to you shortly. Okay, so this is where you guys know that I've got this at least a recent fixation on this trigonometry of pyramids and hierarchies, and downward pointing hierarchies, and upward pointing hierarchies and the such, and now it's moved. If you know me on YouTube, then you know that I'm a mathematician, right? Anyway, so I was thinking about hierarchies in terms of the Holon network, right? The Holon network functions like this pyramid, right? And Holon is it's like this ring that balances somewhere in the center of the pyramid. And then I was thinking about how like the notion of upside down chakras. The whole theist atheist argument is based on, I think, a trigonometry of some form, of some sort. And I'm not quite certain exactly how to illustrate that, other than, well, let's see. If, kind of like, you got the pyramid, right? And you got a pyramid this way, and then let's say on the other side you had an opposing pyramid, so they were tip to tip, right? And let's say that they kind of were going into each other, you know what I mean? Like as if these two glasses had extensive tips that came down here, and they can go into one another. And I was thinking about this, they're called Dandelin balls in math, and it's something akin to this shape, right? And what it is it's where the holon moves into an eclipse. That black lens I have in there, if that was a plane that was dissecting the entire glass, and you raised it up and down, the size of the top ball and the size of the bottom ball would change, right? And so I look at those in terms of chakras relative to one another, but as if this was mirrored, right? As if there was one on top, up here, so to speak, or right here, that somehow matched that chakra upwardly. And I was thinking about how Gary Amendham is like the first Dandelin ball on the top chakra. First of all, the whole notion of, instead of a lens in there, right? I think that the atheism-theism debate, atheists see that theists are, God, how to put it, like a mirror in there, right? There's a mirror in there. It's kind of a real free-form video, as you can see. And that somewhere along the line, there's the hyperbola is where you got the up, you got the two that are meeting, right? But then you got a plane that's not a plane that's running is in Holon, is a circle, and it's not in the eclipse, and it's not in the parabola, but it's in the hyperbola, and that would mean that for the bottom pyramid and the top pyramid, if you ran a big plane across it, you would get a cross section that didn't include the stem where I'm grabbing it. It would just include like this piece of the top and this piece of the bottom. And as it moves into center, as the plane moves into the center, right? This is a metaphor, I think, for Christianity and for heaven and stuff like that. So you get these people that have this hierarchy, right? And then you get Professor Anton, who wants everything, his notion of the mysterious is something up here. It's that which is not made clear about this upside down pyramid that is not, it's not intersecting, it's resting on top. And so you get these X's. And I don't know how to put it exactly, but if you take this X, right, and you look at it as I slide these points closer, these pieces of spaghetti closer, to find this hyperbola, right, they reflect, like the bottom one's going to reflect the top one on one sheet, and as they move closer to the stem, right, as they move closer to the stem, it causes this crux, right? And at that crux, that to me is like if this was an hourglass. Think of an hourglass, right? Sands through an hourglass. Or think of getting a camel through the eye of a needle. The eye of the needle metaphor to me in terms of this relationship is it's this hyperbola reaching the center, right? It's where the top pyramid and the bottom pyramid meet, and it's where the Dandelin ball gets pushed up so much to the top that it becomes like a grain of sand, right? And so I'm trying to, while I'm figuring out this next painting, trying to figure out how it is to make metaphor to ancient Egyptian gnosis of pyramids, as well as different hierarchies and hierarchies of thought, and how these relate to trigonometry, and how it is, like I think atheists don't want to utter the top chakra, the top hyperbola, as having any significance. And this notion of 2012 coming is something like where the top one and the bottom one have to meet. So New Agers are trying to talk about how the Bende ball or the Dandelin ball will fall through like a grain of sand. I think that's what theists are talking about. And getting right with oneself, the virtue of what Anton talks about, getting right with oneself, something about knowing where you are when that crux comes. Now the crux is like a cross, right? And the cross is like, how to put it? I think I'm almost out of time. At one point, when these two pyramids cross, they'll meet like that, right? And everything should be able to slide through. Well, these indefinitely will fall into a cylinder, right? There'll be a cylinder. Anyway, I've also been thinking about the number system that conference report was bringing up, right? And thinking about how I was looking at the numbers in terms of fonts quite a bit differently than he was. I guess I need another video for that. We'll see how this one reads. Give me your feedback based on this kind of absent-minded alchemy.